Hello my dear students. Today I will give you a lecture on LTIC system. That means LTIC, the full form is linear time invariant system, and LTIC means continuous system. Okay, that's continuous time system. Okay, here we discuss about continuous time signal, continuous signal and linear systems. So here we have to have a complete understanding on LTIC systems, because uh, that is the heart and core of this subject. Okay, so in previous lectures I have told you some properties about linearity and time invariance. If you understand it, then you can understand the system clearly. The system which has two properties, that means here the abbreviation is LTIC system, linear time invariant. These two properties, linear and time invariant, when these two properties exist in a single system, it is known as LTIC system or LTI system. Here C represents the continuous time signal. That means that is a continuous system that uh, really operates in continuous time, that really operates, or that really uh, process the continuous time signals. So first of all, the property of linearity. What is linear and what is non-linear? As you know, to prove a system linear, you have to check two properties mainly. The two properties are, first of all, homogeneity, and second part is additivity. Okay, what is homogeneity and what is additivity? In the previous slide on basics on system, I have told you how you could calculate this. Homogeneity means if you multiply, that means the law of commutation. If you multiply both system in cascade form, both systems are in cascade form. Okay, there are two systems, they are in cascaded, so these two systems will be multiplied. Okay, and additivity means the systems will be in parallel. So when the both properties, if they support both properties, so that will be linear time invariant system, and their property will be like this. I will show you a single equation. If x1t is a system function of first system, and x2t is a system function of second system, the linear time invariance will be proved. It will be linear when there is a certain coefficient and there is another coefficient. One is alpha and one is beta denoted here. There may be same or they may be different coefficients, but if they satisfy this equation that I have written here, if they satisfy this equation, so that is the linear system. Okay, now the point come that what is time invariance? Time invariance means there will be no change in time. There will be no change in time while operating such kind of signals. When the system process this kind of signals, if there is no change of time occurs, that means time invariance, not time varying. They don't vary in the course of time or with respect to time. If they don't vary with respect to time, they are certainly known as time invariance system. If you just look about this kind of equation, look here, in the change of time you get the present value and past value here, so it is time variance. But if you add a constant here, that will not change in the course of time, so then it will be time invariance system. It's like this. That I have just given you an example. You don't think all will be like that. Okay, so for a linear continuous time system, the relationship between the applied input xt and output yt can be described using a linear differential equation of the following form. That is a linear differential equation. You can see here there are coefficients that multiply in the in front of the differentiations, and there are differential equation, just different terms. They will be equal to that bm dtm. That means there are different another differential equation. So that is the linear property, the linear differential equation that I could tell you here. Now you can see here a series RLC circuit. Okay, that is a series RLC circuit. It is one of the linear, it has one of the linear properties, linear system, that you can tell, that you can really calculate it. So there is an example here how you can understand it. Here they said determine the input output representation of the series RLC circuit shown in figure 3.1 for the three outputs Vt, Wt and Yt. Okay, so first of all, if you take this figure, here Vt is the voltage across the inductance, Wt is the voltage across the capacitance, and Yt is the voltage across the resistance. In series circuit, as you know, xt is a applied voltage. Here It, that is in series circuit, It remains the same because there is no parallel circuit you have done. It is a series circuit. So if you apply Kirchhoff's voltage law, you can find it out. If we apply Kirchhoff's voltage law in that loop, what will be the equation? What will be the equation? The equation will be xt is equal to L di dt Rit 1 by C It dt. How can it be? It is very easy thing. You know it better in the math of 3.1. How can you do it? Okay, look at here. Vt means the voltage across the inductance. To find it out, the equation is L di dt, L dit dt. So that is Vt. If you want to find out Wt, Wt means the voltage across capacitance. The equation will be 1 by C integration of It dt, Okay, that's multiple to this, not you don't consider it, that will be below to it. And Yt, as you can see here, Yt is Ohm's law, Rit. V is equal to IR, so it's Rit. So that is the equation of capacitance, that is the equation of inductance, and that is the equation of resistance, the applied voltage. So Vt plus Wt plus Yt, if we just add these three, that will be equal to xt according to Kirchhoff's voltage law. It's very simple.